Guess what? I'm swear to God, I'm not lying. Isn't that joke?
Oh my God. I'm Russian, I can't cry.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're still a woman with a baby inside.
It's like a shield. Stay away! Come here! I got you! I got you.
Bringing a baby into the world can either be the biggest blessing of all time, or, depending on the relationship, it can be a deal breaker. It can add more stress and pressure into a relationship, or it might not be physically possible at all. And that is the situation we find ourselves in this episode. So, let's kick off proceedings with Brandon and Julia, and we join them now that they're back in the States. This is 5 months since we last saw them, and they tell us if they had had their way, they would have spent longer on their European vacation.
Because we didn't sell Julia's apartment like we were planning to do, we had to come back from Europe early. You know, traveling is not cheap.
I'm telling you, we should stay in Amsterdam and a little working like a hooker.
It might be illegal out there, but thankfully for Brandon, and I'm sure his family as well, they didn't have to resort to Julia selling herself in a shop window. Can you just imagine Betty and Ron's reaction? Now, even despite having to cut their trip short, the pair did manage to visit 9 countries in 1 month. By the looks of things, they had the time of their lives. If the plan was to have fun and reconnect, it worked.
Though it was hard in our finances, I still feel like the trip was an overall success. I do feel like Julia and I reconnected to a certain level.
Oh yeah, that's European says come bait.
Given what we know from their time on the last resort, given that we know they were having intimacy issues, this time away, the ability for them to just relax, have fun and let their hair down has really done wonders for them in that department. Like, the vacation really seems to have put the fire back in their marriage. And thankfully, that spark has continued now that they're back at home as well. You see, as we join them today, they tell us it's been 5 months since they've returned from their trip. And in that time, since they've been back, something amazing has happened.
Guess what? I'm swear to God, I'm not lying. Isn't that joke?
That's right, Julia is pregnant. Now, of course, this doesn't come as a surprise to anyone. If you've been following them off the show online on social media, you'll know that they shared that news with us some time ago. They've been having a lot of fun with it. They've been creating a lot of funny posts and some not so funny. Nightmarish, in fact. But, of course, it's nice to see this behind the scenes as well. Like, it's nice to see just how excited they both were when they first found out. Don't forget, this is something that Julia wasn't sure could ever happen. She's lived most of her life thinking that she might never be able to get pregnant. And even the last time we joined them at a fertility clinic, she was told, she was recommended that she might need to have an operation to increase her chances of conceiving. So hearing that she is now pregnant without having to do any of that is incredible. It's great news, not just for her, but for Brandon as well, who, as we know, has been desperate to have kids.
Your heart?
Yeah, give me that.
Oh my gosh.
We're pregnant!
Technically, Brandon, that's not actually true. Julia's the one that's pregnant, but yeah, you're both expecting a child. Now, they tell us that since arriving back in the States, the pair have been actively trying. Like, they sought second opinions, and in fact, one of the doctors that they saw told them that before having surgery, the surgery that Julia was so scared of, they should first try a different strategy.
Them give us plan. I changed my diet. I started doing hormones and vitamins, and most important, counting ovulation day.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked, it's clearly worked, but as anyone who's ever tried to conceive will tell you, keeping track of ovulation cycles, counting your ovulation days, as Julia says, is pretty important. But I think there's also another factor that may have played a role here: stress. Like, the stressful situation, the bad situation that their marriage was in prior to leaving for Europe, probably wasn't helping matters either. I mean, it's amazing what this time away, this ability to reconnect, has done for them. Like, despite the doctor's warnings, despite the doctors telling her that it might not work, she might never get pregnant, she might need the operation. As it turns out, within a matter of months, she's now pregnant. It really didn't take that long at all, and when we next join them, they're on their way to their first OB appointment to make sure everything's okay. Now, the first thing the doctor asks is how Julia's feeling.
Weird.
Yeah. That's super
It
normal.
looks like I'm hungover every day.
That is so normal. So you are considered 7 weeks and 4 days.
Now that, 7 weeks and 4 days, puts her in the middle of her first trimester. Now keep in mind, and I've got first-hand experience of this, my wife and I were the same, many couples choose to keep this news secret until about the 13-week mark. That marks the start of the second trimester, at which point things become safer, like the risk of miscarriage drops significantly. Now keep this in mind because it's going to crop up again in a minute, it becomes very significant shortly. But first, they do an ultrasound just to make sure that baby and mum are both okay.
Right here. That's your baby. Look how cute your little baby is.
Everything looks amazing, like the baby's perfect and the new parents are in awe. This whole experience, seeing your baby for the first time like this, is the kind of magical moment that words can't do justice. Like, just look at them. Julia gets emotional and Brandon can't seem to take his eyes off the monitor. It's incredible, it's special, it's somehow now more real. And Julia, the mummy-to-be, can't believe how emotional it's made her.
Oh my God. I'm Russian, I can't cry.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're still a woman with a baby inside.
This is a very special time for Julia and Brandon. Like, this happy news seems to have brought them together. It seems to have bonded them more than ever before. But, unfortunately for them, for as happy as they are right now, we all know they're not going to be able to stay in this happy bubble alone forever. They are going to have to break this news to their families at some point, and as we're aware, this marriage has never just been the two of them, has it?
I honestly cannot wait to tell my mom and my dad because, you know, this has been a long time coming, so I would like to do something special.
What do you want to bet that this is going to cause issues? You can just picture it already, can't you? Betty is going to be full of suggestions, not particularly helpful suggestions, about what she thinks Julia should or shouldn't be doing. Now, for right now at least, while Brandon dreams of the big reveal, all that Julia's thinking about is food. All my pregnancy food cravings mixed with morning sickness is no joke, she tells us. But we've kind of stumbled into something that's helped me with that, she says.
Lollipop really helped me with my nausea, and Brennan trying to give me his lollipop.
Sucking on stuff helped reduce the nausea. All I'm ever trying to do is help.
TMI, guys. I'm glad you got your spark back, but some things are better left unsaid. Now, all jokes aside, Brandon says he has really been trying his best to help Julia since she's had a lot of cravings. He tries to keep their fridge stocked with whatever she needs, but, he says, it hasn't been easy.
Caring for Julia right now is a challenge. She is needy. Needy. Seriously.
Oh, boo-hoo, Brandon, come on, grow up. If you think that's hard for you, just imagine what Julia's going through, having to grow a whole new human inside her. Sorry, but if you're looking for sympathy about how hard it is that she needs your help, you're not going to get any from me, I'm afraid. Now, given that Julia's body is hard at work accommodating and growing baby, it's hardly a surprise that things are beginning to change with her.
You're grown. In some of my favorite areas, you know? So it's becoming noticeable, Julia. So I think it's time to tell my parents.
Now, as far as Brandon's concerned, he doesn't want his parents to figure it out on their own. He'd much rather reveal it, volunteer that information before they work it out for themselves. But from Julia's perspective, that's unlikely to happen. They're not going to suddenly see me and work out that I'm pregnant, she says, because I haven't seen them in 5 months. The last time I saw them was the last big fight that we had just before we left for Europe. Now, Brandon considers the news of the pregnancy a good way to smooth things over. He considers this the perfect news for a reconciliation to bring everyone back together again. But as far as Julia's concerned, she wants to wait a bit longer. She'd like to wait until they're in the second trimester before revealing the news. But the thing is, Brandon doesn't agree. He wants his parents involved as soon as possible.
We could use the support, you know? Give my parents time to, plan for this, give us advice. There's so much we don't know about having babies, and they do.
What are you talking about, Brandon? What do your parents need time to plan for? This is your baby, not your parents. The only thing they need to worry about, what they're going to have months to plan for, is how to love and spoil the child. That's it. Now, I think it's significant and very interesting that the reason Brandon gives for wanting his parents to know are exactly precisely the reasons why Julia doesn't want them to find out. Brandon wants them to give advice, but Julia knows that it isn't just going to stop at advice.
Betty, she will be overstepping. She already over-control us. And now I'm pregnant. I doesn't want, she gonna be telling me what to do. She told me where to go.
You really can't blame Julia for the way that she feels. Sorry, but all she wants is to protect her peace. She wants to enjoy the moment, enjoy what she's going through, and just enjoy this being their little secret for a little while longer. She knows, we all know, that the moment Betty finds out that Julia's carrying her grandchild, she's going to feel as if she has the God-given right to dictate what Julia can or can't do. She is going to overstep. It's inevitable. That's going to take its toll. It's going to be a very long, drawn-out pregnancy if Julia's constantly having to battle Betty and fight in order to be treated like an adult. But, of course, no surprises. Brandon doesn't see it that way.
I don't think my mom was overbearing. She just wanted to help and be supportive. But I feel like Julia keeping it a secret is just making the situation worse.
Look, the fact that Brandon doesn't agree that his mum is overbearing is a big concern. I do, to an extent, understand his concern. I can see why he's worried that he doesn't want his parents to find out she's pregnant without them telling them. But at the same time, sorry, for as difficult as this might be for him to hear, his parents aren't his priority anymore. Julia and his baby are. He needs to be doing everything in his power to protect his wife and his child, not his parents' feelings. How's he supposed to do that? How's he supposed to protect his wife if he doesn't see any issues with the way that his mum acts? It is a worry. It's, in fact, a disaster waiting to happen. Now, on that note, talking about disasters, let's head over to Darcy and Georgie. So we join them in the aftermath of their last fight. It's the next morning, and Stacey has come over to catch up with Darcy.
Someone got some action last night. Oh yeah, I'm in a good mood. Your hair, Jesus Lord. Wow. Okay, smacked it good too. Wow, your bed looks a little too neat.
Stacey, for reasons I'd prefer not to think about, is in a great mood this morning. But it doesn't take long for her to figure out that her sister isn't. Now, when quizzed about what's happened, Darcy begins to open up about the fight that she had with Georgie, the fight that we all saw. One moment we were just talking, she says, and the next moment everything began to spiral out of control.
I thought he was getting in the mood to want to talk and say something. No. He kind of just went right into, making me feel like I'm the blame for everything.
Not only did Georgie storm off and leave after our fight, leave midway through our fight, she says, but he never came back last night. I haven't heard a word from him since. Darcy's worried, she admits. She tells her sister, I don't know where this leaves us. Georgie admitted that he's been having a lot of thoughts since Bulgaria, she says, but I don't know what those thoughts are. And naturally, she's worried whatever it is that Georgie's thinking, it's not gonna be good news for their marriage.
As if he was thinking about, he doesn't want to waste his time on me because he misses his family and he doesn't think that I've been like a family to him?
Despite Darcy and by extension Stacey as well physically being there for him, Georgie can't shake the feeling that something's missing. Now, it's precisely at this moment, coincidentally, that Georgie reaches back out to Darcy. He sends her a message questioning in fact, if Darcy actually cares. Now, reading this, the twins instantly jump to the conclusion that Georgie is projecting his own feelings here. It must be him that doesn't know if he actually cares anymore, they say. All I've ever wanted is a husband that lets me in, Darcy begins to cry. But Georgie isn't that. Georgie always has his walls up.
It's like a shield. Stay away! Come here! I got you! I got you.
Why is it that whenever the twins are hysterically upset about something, they seem like they're either possessed or like they're incredibly drunk? Like, this is first thing in the morning. Surely she hasn't started drinking yet. Surely. Now, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and assume that she isn't drunk, right? But Darcy isn't sure that they can fix things this time. She's really worried. She's hysterically, dramatically worried that this might be it for her marriage. But when we next join her, she's gone to meet up with her husband. You can tell both of them have made an extra special effort here. They're both dressed to the nines, dressed to impress. And when asked why he didn't come back to their room last night, Georgie tells Darcy that he had to get a separate room in order to give himself space to think. Like, while that immediately sets alarm bells ringing for Darcy, Georgie goes on to reassure her that his thoughts were positive.
What I realized, one of the strongest feelings and emotion I have was for you. I really care about you and I really love you.
That's great, that's wonderful, Darcy says. But for our marriage to stand any chance of working, we need to be able to have serious conversations, heck, even arguments, without you running off. We need to both be able to air how we actually feel, communicate. Now, thankfully, Georgie agrees. But, he says, I need to feel comfortable in order to share my feelings with you. And that annoys Darcy. Why don't you feel comfortable, she says. It's not like I'm asking for much. All I'm trying to do is express how I feel. Is that really so bad?
And you can't handle the way that I express myself. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get at a level 10. I don't feel like we're getting each other. It's too much.
Now, to Darcy's credit, she immediately realises that getting annoyed, getting really upset and frantic about this isn't going to help matters. She immediately checks herself, reins her emotions back in, and tries to make it more comfortable for Georgie to talk. Now, judging by his demeanour, judging by how nervous he is to bring this up, it's immediately clear that whatever it is he's going to say isn't good. Darcy just doesn't want to draw this out any longer. Please, just tell me what's on your mind, she begs. What is it that you've been thinking about since Bulgaria?
When I see my sister with her kids and her family, and when my sister asked me if I want a kid.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
And there it is. The issue, the gigantic topic of kids. Seeing my sister and her kids, he says, has made me realise how much I'd like to have kids of my own. But, Georgie, hate to break it to you, but that's a f***ing big problem, mate. That's something you should have thought about before marrying Darcy. Need I remind you? She's 50 years old. Like, she has kids of her own. Your kids, your stepkids. It's not exactly as if having more kids, at least biologically her own kids, is an option that's available to her anymore.
Since this day she asked me about if I want kids, I keep thinking about this.
Where do you want to go with this?
The truth is, these two have faced a lot of issues in their marriage, but this is one that they won't be able to overcome. If that feeling has now struck Georgie, if he's adamant that he wants to have kids of his own, there's very little, and I mean very little chance that that's going to be with Darcy. Like, for all the love that they claim to have for each other, this might be the thing that finally forces them to face reality. They're at different stages of their lives. There's just too many differences for this to work. Time to face facts, guys. This marriage is as good as over.